I had an interesting conversation yesterday about accountability versus coaching. And I don't know if you've ever really sat back and thought about the difference and why we need both and what are the benefits of each, but it felt like a really valuable conversation because I know as a coach, I speak a lot to accountability, but there are a lot of programs that only focus on accountability. So I'm excited today. This is going to be a short and sweet episode. To be transparent, I have been losing my voice and I'm hoping that I can really get through this and not lose my voice, but also leave you guys feeling inspired and feeling like you got some golden nuggets on accountability and coaching. What's the difference? Why are they important? So let's dive in. Welcome back to the Messy Success Podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Henson. This podcast is your space, your corner of the world to be messy, creative, and ambitious as you want to be. I'm incredibly passionate about helping people do what they love and make a living doing it. We all know that is a messy process, but the messy imperfection, the messy success is what makes it all so beautiful. I'm here to help you build community around your brand so that marketing is easy. There's no such thing as a self-made millionaire, in my opinion. We're all in this together. We shine the light on others, focus on leadership. And our theme here for 2024 is the 1% adventure, where we're getting 1% better every single day. So what do you say we get started? So let me start off with just a little bit of context on how this came to be. So on a coaching call yesterday, one of my Elevate students, community members, mentioned how she always felt so much better after our call. And I kind of made a joke and I said, so we need to meet every day. And she was like, yes. And I remembered a friend of mine working for or being in a program that was strictly accountability. And they would work in these really short-term pushes and do nothing but accountability. So here's your task, check in tomorrow, let me know if you did it, if you didn't, and why you didn't. But they didn't go really deep into the coaching. And it was just giving me all the ideas. Isn't it wonderful and funny how these little tiny moments can just spark so much thought and ideas if you're like me and you're a manifesting generator and it's really easy for you to get all the ideas. But I know that there will one day be a higher level, mastermind level option for my students. So when they kind of graduate from Elevate is my signature group coaching program, and they're ready for something bigger, I want to continue to hold that space. And sure, some of them are going to go off and join masterminds. Some of them are going to do my program at other masterminds, all the things. Totally awesome. But I know that they have kind of requested that, some of them want to be in rooms with multi-six-figure earners and so forth and so forth. And I'm excited about what that might look like in the future. Not necessarily the near future, but in the future. So I'm always just putting my listening ears on. What do they need? What helps them the most? What moves the needle? And this accountability conversation is important because as a coach, yes, I'm holding them accountable. What's even more important is that we're making the long-term changes. And this is the biggest difference that we're going to be talking about is accountability is really focused on action and immediate results, whereas coaching is really centered on long-term changes, long-term transformation, and really empowering that self-leadership. So while sure, I can take this student and all the other students that are in this boat, and we could meet every day. I could check in every day and make sure that they're doing their homework, and they'll do it. and they'll get results. But what happens when I'm not there? What happens when that accountability partner's not there? I would rather be the person that pushes a little harder and digs a little deeper to get that long-term transformation. Coaching dives into your mindset, helping you change your way of being from the inside out. So when someone sells you into their program based on accountability, sure, it's going to work. I go to the gym better when I have an accountability partner. It is an important piece of the puzzle, but it will not give you the long-term change that you need to be self-accountable. And that's what's so cool. And I love this differentiator. So let's talk a little bit about accountability and some of the things around it. What is accountability? Accountability helps you stay on track with these short-term goals and tasks. And the short-term goals obviously take us to the long-term goals. Accountability is very action-focused, right? These regular check-ins. There's external motivation. There's a really cool book on how we're all motivated differently. And some of us are self-motivated, and some of us are motivated by our community, and some of us are motivated by, I don't know, reading. There was like 5 of them. I can't think of that book right now. But everyone is motivated kind of differently. So if you're externally motivated, knowing that someone is holding you accountable can really help you meet deadlines. This is one of my favorite parts about having a team is, yes, that they're doing the tasks, but that I'm accountable to give them something. It really helps me show up for a lot of these short-term tasks. I don't have any issues showing up for my long-term dream, but some days I struggle to show up for the short term, and that's what gets us to the long term. Accountability creates discipline, so it can create a habit, right? So you can change in the long term by creating good habits through this consistent effort. But I'll be the first to admit, I create a habit, and then I get sick. Or I travel for 2 weeks straight, and oh my gosh, I want to say a cuss word. It's like, fuck, I got to start all over, right? That's what it feels like. It feels like you work so hard to build a habit, but the littlest thing can derail, and then you've got to start recreating it and building that trust with yourself all over again. And that's one thing that coaching fixes. Accountability kind of breaks this cycle of procrastination. So even, yes, we may have to start over, right? Like I've been sick for like the whole month of August. And now even in September, I'm still trying to get myself back to 100%. And I've got to start this whole process over of exercise, moving my body. And it is easier. It's easier than it was starting from like ground zero. But that habit has been broken. Accountability can give us short-term momentum, right? That momentum can really help us create those long-term habits. But there's also a sense of surface level progress. So you may be hitting the targets, but are you creating the deeper shifts within your mind that are really required to become that next best version of yourself? And then you may become reliant on these external forces. Laura, who was in the group, I love this term that she used called a body double. She's like, when anybody's in the house, I'm so much more productive. But if nobody's around, it's really easy for me to sit down and relax, right? And that's all true. And that's all great that the body double motivates us. But what if we could fix that from the inside out? And we can control our levels of productivity and our levels of rest. And then accountability is really good for little, like I said, daily tasks, tactical tasks, specific to-do lists. But it's not going to solve your systematic business or personal issues. So accountability is absolutely important. But I'm such an advocate of working with a highly trained coach that can really help you get the long-term transformation. They're going to help you change from the inside out. And yes, this is top of mind and I'm so passionate about it because I'm a very highly trained business coach. But I don't care if you work with me or if you work with another amazing coach. But if your coach is only selling you on accountability, they might be missing this piece, which is really the backbone of coaching. So are they empowering self-leadership? Are you learning to become your own guide and not rely on external forces? Oh my gosh, that's huge. That's been one of the most fun things for me to learn myself, is how to rely on myself and not rely on external forces. My new morning routine where I don't even touch my computer until 10 a.m. really allows me to hone in on my own guidance and wisdom for what I want to get done in the day. Coaches know how to unlock this infinite potential, seeing beyond your current limitations, right? Like creating space for a breakthrough. Just being accountable is going to give you this micro change, but is it going to have your jaw on the floor because you just actually uncovered what is holding you back and how to redirect that into your way of being? Coaches provide guidance in a strategic way, but also in a holistic way. They can see the big picture, but they're helping you uncover your next steps. These mindset shifts help you like rewire the way you think and approach challenges with your new perspectives. You're rewiring beliefs that no longer serve you and thoughts that are creating a reality that you don't desire. So can you rewire these thoughts to create the future that you want? Coaches know how to pull that out of you. So there's this emotional and mental support, not therapy, right? If you've got any big traumas, we want you to go see a therapist. I'm talking about breaking cycles and habits of procrastination, of perfectionism, of imposter syndrome, of avoiding things that you know are going to help you, these types of things. And coaching is going to always be tailored to your unique superpowers and what you want. This isn't about what I want for you. This is about what you want. And how can I help you continue to be in action, but also making those long-term thought and inner changes? Losing my words. That's so great. So the self-awareness to start to see some of the things that are leading to your decisions, and understanding that if it was just as easy as accountability, you would have probably done it by now. You would have probably found a business bestie. You would have probably done the things if it was that simple. You've probably seen success with accountability, but did it last? Right? Oh, I just need to be held accountable. Sure, that helps, but is it actually changing you from the inside out? So I love it. Coaches are focused on the long-term wins, the long-term changes, not just the immediate wins. And this was just such a fun thing for me to think about, to reflect about. Accountability and coaching are very different, but I think a lot of less experienced coaches muddy the waters by selling accountability or selling a roadmap or an exact step-by-step strategy, because this isn't my strategy. This is me helping you live into your strategy, your guidance. And it's so fun. And I'm so freaking lucky to have these amazing students who have these conversations, which allow me to reflect on things like this and become better, right? To do a little reading about it, to really understand these other programs and what makes them different than mine. And to be able to stand in that 10 out of 10, 100% conviction of, I know what I'm doing and how I'm helping people is really changing the things that matter. And yes, we're accountable, but the most important piece isn't just, did you do it? You got a gold star, but understanding, what did you need? What was the thought process that needed to happen? Who did you need to become? Who do you need to become? What characteristics do you need to take on, right? If you want to be fit and healthy, what kind of decisions is a fit and healthy person making? They're not just checking in with their personal trainer and having their hand held. They're learning how to think and act like a healthy and fit person. So cool, right? Thank you guys for listening to that. I hope you enjoyed that comparison. I would love to hear from you if you've been through a program that was solely accountability, and did it change your life forever, or did it change your life in the temporary? Because I do believe it can stick. It can stick, people. So this isn't a this or that. This is a this and that. But coaches who only sell the accountability piece are missing a huge piece of the puzzle. So if you're interested in what that might be like, I want you to sign up for our wait list for Elevate. And you can go to elizabethhenson.co/elevate to access that wait list, to learn more about our program, and the doors will be opening before the end of the year. So if you want to be notified first, hop on that wait list, elizabethhenson.co/elevate. We are an incredible bunch. I'm inspired by my students every single week. I couldn't be happier and feel more like I'm living into my actual dharma and my purpose. And I'm smiling as I tell you about how I work with people in the program. So if you want to learn more, sign up for the wait list. Let me know your thoughts on coaching versus accountability and what you feel like you really need. Coaching isn't for everyone, but it sure does help. And even the greatest coaches have coaches. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening. I'll see you when you sign up for the wait list. Make sure you check me out on Instagram, elizabeth.henson. If you liked this episode, please leave us a review or share it with a friend. This is a good, short and sweet golden nugget episode. And if you're a coach, start bringing some of this work to the forefront of your messaging. Start really leaning into how you help people outside of just accountability. Okay. Bye, guys.